Hi, I'm Gabriel, and welcome to Bigones.nft, where we take you through some of the biggest NFT news, reviews, and the daily rankings of some of the biggest NFT collections in the Metaverse. And make sure you stay to the end, where we'll do a randomizer, picking a random collection on Opensea, and doing a little deep dive, and I'll give my honest thoughts on the project and, of course, the team. All right, so without further ado, smash up the like, hit subscribe, and turn that notification bell to tell the gang at YouTube that you do appreciate our content. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so as we like to start on this channel, let's go through some of the, basically the crypto market. I think always has quite an important connection to our NFTs. So obviously Bitcoin is doing pretty well, and in general we can look at the market and it's a sea of green predominantly, which is obviously a great thing for the market as a whole. And of course, Ethereum really doing pretty damn well, within 7 days, hitting 39% gains on that, on Ethereum. So, okay, let's move on. So one of the biggest news that I wanted to focus on today is actually APECOIN, obviously related to NFTs. As we know, APECOIN is the allocated token for under Yuga Labs, of course, for Bored Ape, CryptoPunks, and of course the Metaverse, which is exactly what we're talking about here, which is the other side. So APECOIN surged 22%. After Bored Ape Yacht Club demo's other side Metaverse. These really are the biggest, if not the biggest Metaverse out there, or at least potential. Obviously, there's Sandbox, Decentraland, and all these other Metaverses that have already been existing and already proven their model and really their positioning. However, obviously, the other side still needs to find its way. However, already just by in terms of its volume and interest, and of course the two biggest collections, which is Bored Ape Yacht Club and CryptoPunks, it already puts itself way above the others. So I'm really excited, and of course looking at this quite carefully and closely, and really seeing how this proceeds in the future. And of course, yes, I hold APECOIN. Obviously I've been DCAing it as it was dipping, and so watching it very closely. But anyway, let's see where this goes. And obviously this is very much related still to the Bitcoin dominance and the market that Bitcoin, and of course we'll be following this carefully and keeping you posted. All right. So moving on with past the news, let's look at some metrics. So June, I always use June.com, great metrics, and really one of the key things I wanted to show here is really the Opensea daily trading volume, and you can see here, it's obviously nothing like it was here in May. And of course here, if we look at the monthly volume on Opensea, nothing really beats this January kind of hit, which really has, is the biggest, obviously the biggest run that we've had ever. But going back to the daily trading, since here in May, but then here down in July, you can look at that fall. Quite a large fall, and obviously we'll get back up there, I believe, and I think that this market just shows that there's still a long way to grow, and it is good to get in. Obviously getting into the right projects is critical, but definitely we are still at the tip of the iceberg. That's obviously my opinion alone, and there's still a huge way. Of course there's going to be more regulations in the future as things progress, but that just comes with the nature and the territory to try to stabilize, I guess is the best word, the industry, which I think most of the real passionate NFT lovers are looking for. Nobody wants, it to be unstable. We do want obviously everyone wants mass adoption, which does come with regulation. So anyway, again, just looking at this. All right, let's move on to the next chart metric. This is the block. .co, and why I wanted to show this specifically is if we just look at these metrics here, the key here is, as you can see, the black is let's say the blue is actually okay. Let's strike that and we'll edit that out. Let me start again here, and boom. Okay, so here, the reason why I wanted to show the block is basically here in the red, and the red is the kind of gaming assets, and you can see how it really has kind of superseded against the art and collectibles, okay, against the art and collectibles. So I think this is what's really interesting for me here, is that from an NFT perspective, that gaming is still, or let's say is actually really quite consistently rising above art and collectibles. And of course, gaming, you would relate that to tokens that, or NFT collections, should I say, that actually relate to some kind of potential game coming up. Obviously, that means utility, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, something just to point out, and another metric. So okay, next one. Next metric is where are we? Okay. Is just a general market on non-fungible, which I think is a good one for us just to look at. And look, let's not get into all the details, but in general, it's not looking pretty. All right, and obviously this is just a very quick glimpse and snapshot, should we say? But you can see it's minus 90% from number of sales from obviously the all-time high. Minus 90%, minus 80, minus 90 on secondary sales. Look, it's just not looking pretty. But we already knew that, and I think this is something important that we understand that we're here. And again, some people might look at this and go, wow, this is an opportunity to come in, right? So obviously the worst thing you could do is, come into a project when everything is pumping, right? Because obviously as the markets cycle, things will go down. It's just inevitability of the market. But so this could be deemed as an opportunity, depending on how you look at it. But obviously right now, for those who bought in maybe at higher points, obviously not so exciting to look at this, maybe a little bit painful as well. Okay, let's move on. Boom. Okay, so the reason why I wanted to show this, which is cryptoslam.io, predominantly really just to look at the blockchains by NFT sales volume and looking at more from the chain perspective. And we all know Ethereum is the big daddy. Of course, Solana really up there as well. So I think that what I wanted to see here really as well is really, you've got BNB coming right up there on number 3. Flow, and then I'm looking at this Panini, and again, obviously nobody knows everything, and I'm looking at this and going, wow, I've never heard of this before. Of course, I've heard of Ronin and Palm, Polygon, and Wax, but Panini? Okay, this is I'm going to have to look into this. If anyone out there already kind of knows about Panini, please put in the comments below. Let me know what you think about Panini. It's obviously a bread to me. Used to eat that, quite nice, paninis. So I'm very interested to find out more about this blockchain and how it's related to NFTs, and any marketplaces you might know about Panini. Put it in the comments below. Okay, so we hear Polygon and Wax. Of course, I'm a big lover of Wax. I think they have some amazing NFT collections. A little bit difficult to get the Wax token, WaxP, but once you're there, anyway, my experience anyway, I guess it was one of my first times, so it's got some good memories. Of course, again, quite difficult to kind of do the process, but what isn't in crypto, right? That's one of the biggest challenges of onboarding new people, is obviously getting that adoption, meaning making it easier for the grandma, grandpa, your mum and dad to be able to actually access this content or access crypto, thus then buy NFTs. And of course, Avalanche, which, yes, and Immutable, of course. I would have thought Immutable would have been a little bit higher up there. They've had a lot of partnerships, obviously, in the past, some pretty big ones too. So anyway, but look, Panini, yeah, I'm going to have to check them out. Okay, let's move on. Okay, let's get into our the main part of this video is, of course, looking at the top, some of the top collections on Opensea. All right, so what we're going to do is let's do I'm just going to show you the top 5. Okay, so we've got here step-in shoeboxes. Now, they were yesterday definitely not at number 1, if I'm not mistaken, probably number 3, number 4. But look at them; they've skyrocketed up there. They're now number 1 on in terms of daily volume. Obviously beating CryptoPunks. Look, there's been a lot of news on StepN. Obviously some FUD. Like any project, there's positive and negative. You do your own research. You check it out. You see what if you're interested in that, basically, walking, running, and moving, move to earn, as they call it, right? So yeah, check that out yourself. But look, it's all data here, right? So we're looking at Opensea, and it's the data, and the data shows that they're number 1 today. Anyway, we'll see what tomorrow brings. But anyway, CryptoPunks at number 3. Other side, as we said, some big moves obviously here under Yuga Labs, and number 4, Royal Oak Foundation. Now, okay, we're going to look into these projects a little bit more deeper, and we're going to just do the top 5 today. And of course, Art Blocks Curated. So also another big daddy, but Royal Oak Foundation, we'll see. Haven't really seen them, so they've come out of nowhere. Let's see what they're bringing. Okay, let's go into it. So let's go straight into Step N. And again, as here on the channel, you've obviously joined, or maybe you've watched our previous videos, but we're going to treat everybody the same, and we're going to go through each one of these projects as is. So step-in shoeboxes. So again, here at 2,000 items, with about 596 owners, okay, and the total volume. Looking at the floor price here, 1.89. I think, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday it was slightly higher, but again, I could be mistaken. But looking at it here, obviously this is still something you got to think about, right? It's 1.89 ETH, close to 2 ETH. It's definitely you're not going to just jump in with the blindfolds on. So and of course now obviously the shoes, so some of these shoes have already been revealed yesterday, if we do remember. Not all were revealed. So interesting, so good to see. And then, of course, the best offer, as we know here, Opensea now puts best offer here as well, 1.15 ETH. All right, so moving on. So let's look at CryptoPunks. Again, obviously, CryptoPunks, no floor price, because we all know they are probably one of the most expensive NFTs, PFP collections out there on the market. But they're still up there. And as we said yesterday, you've got 3,600 owners against, of course, 10,000 items. So look, CryptoPunks, the OG, the granddaddy of them all. I wish I owned one, but I don't. But not to worry. Okay, so moving on. So here it is, other deed for the other side. Now, of course, we were just talking about the APECOIN here, which is all kind of connected under their ecosystem, right? So you got CryptoPunks, you got Bored Ape Yacht Club, and of course you got Meebits as well under Lava Labs, and then the other deed for the other side. So look, this is obviously going to be massive. This is just the beginning, and we'll be seeing a lot more movements here. Again, with the floor price here of 2.75, 2.8, definitely something to consider. Again, as mentioned, if you were going to Sand and buying a plot of land on Sandbox, you're looking around about 2 ETH as well, if not a bit less, maybe 1.8, 1.6. I'll have to check the latest information there, but definitely something to consider. But as with any kind of property or land, we all know it goes up, right? I think that's the bottom line, and I think as this is just the beginning here, there's a huge long way for this to go up as well. So we'll see, we'll be watching, and we'll be keeping you posted for everybody here on the channel. And having said that, don't forget, smash up the like and subscribe to the channel, of course, only if you want, but please do smash if you're watching this video. All right, let us move on. Okay, Royal Oak Foundation exclusive collection. Let's read a little bit about this. So it's saying Royal Oak Foundation wristwatch, got it, introduced in 1992 with platinum cores. Okay, so obviously what we're talking about here is about a watch brand, Royal Oak. Now, I'm not too familiar with Royal Oak. If any of you out there are familiar, please put in the comments below. I'd love to hear about your experience with a Royal Oak Foundation. But look, 10 items, 10 owners. So everything's already bought, 2.7k ETH. So, you know, when I look at something like this, again, you know, I want to obviously reserve my comments. I haven't really, I don't really know about anything about this company. But that pretty much tells me, well, look, again, I'll put my opinions out here, and of course you can please counter my opinions down in the comments below if you disagree or agree. But this looks like obviously some kind of marketing campaign. You know, you put the items out there, you've minted it, and then you bought it yourself, right? So it was already from left hand to right hand. Nothing wrong with that per se, in the sense if the purpose is, of course, just to push this up onto the Opensea. Obviously, people are going to come here and check it out. Now, look, I mean, obviously, they have a budget, number one, for this Royal Oak Foundation. Again, I could be absolutely, completely wrong here. But you know, to me, look, 300 ETH, obviously, if I'm not mistaken, it's wrapped ETH, you know, so... Yeah, well, anyway, let me know your thoughts on this. Look, they've made their case. They're on top 5 on Opensea, so for sure that's definitely got to account for something. All right, moving on. Okay, and of course, again, Art Blocks Curated, one of the big daddies, one of the OG as well, on Opensea, should I say, and definitely quite a unique. Let's say if you basically they're not PFPs, and as we've kind of said again, you know, these really are kind of representing the original, say, art exhibitions or galleries per se of the past, of the physical world, right? So real you know, artists that have come in creating unique pieces, digital designs, and curated by a gallery or a company or whatever you want to call, you know, under Art Blocks Curated. Now, again, they've had some amazing success with some of their artists, but as a collection as a whole, they're really probably the number one, I would say, anyway, out there really on the in the metaverse, you know. So yeah, good on them. Okay, so all right, let's get into our randomizer. Okay, so as if you haven't joined us before, this is where we will set the parameters. So I'll do it right now. Let's go 300 as we did before. All right, and we're going to generate a number, and then we're going to look at it. So generating random number, boom, 174. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go to Opensea, and let's go to 174, 174. Let's go down to the bottom. Okay, let's pick 174. Let's look at this collection. Here we go, 174. All right, Memories of Qilin by Emily Share. Okay, definitely. Let's click onto this. Okay. Okay, I got to do it like this, boom. All right, so now, okay, here we go. Interesting. See, as we were just talking about Art Blocks, there it is. It's an Art Blocks under the Art Blocks Curated series, which is, and of course, by the name, I can absolutely say there's obviously a Chinese artist, and the pronunciation of this is Qilin, okay? By Emily Share. Okay, so the X in Chinese is like a sh, share. Okay, and thus if you doubled this, just a little bit of insight, it's share share, which is obviously thank you in Chinese. Okay, anyway, moving on. So let's look at some of the works. You can see her style. Yeah, look, great digital art. I mean, obviously, looking at the floor price here, 6.9. I mean, wow. Okay, obviously, right now, that's okay. Let's say 7 ETH. I'm not the best at maths. So if you're looking at that, well, let's just do 7 by 1,000. That's already 7K, probably obviously hitting around 9K, all right, with the current price. But that's some decent money back there, and good on her. So obviously she's got about 1,000 items with 474 owners. So you're looking about 50% ownership. Obviously, that's not a clear representation. One owner could own multiple, right, as we know. But looking at her artwork, obviously quite unique. Let's click onto one of these guys, and of course, usually what I would have done is get into some of the websites and stuff and the team. But obviously, we've hit on this, so this is what we've got, and we're just looking at a kind of trading history, and we can see. So 4 months ago, I think was when it was minted. So she's done pretty well, and when it first minted, wow. Look, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it was around 0.9 ETH. So that's a massive uptick. Obviously now selling at close to 7. Look, good on her, and again, obviously she's under the brand of Art Blocks, which is already helping any artist, I think, that falls under Art Blocks is very lucky, because obviously they've already got everything. Let's have a look at this website. I'm not sure if it's going to click onto her website. Okay, no, it's not. All right, just going on to Art Blocks, of course, with her. Great. Okay, done. All right, so guys, that concludes this episode of Bigones.nft. Smash up the likes, hit subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you again very soon. Over and out.